Good morning and welcome to the first webinar training for the JFL Online Community Network. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Latoya King and I help manage our operations here at Jobs for Life. I am joined here with Mia Walker, our training specialist, so she will be my wing woman today and help to facilitate any questions or comments that you have today on our webinar. Well, folks, the online platform is here. For the past year, we've been working with a technology firm to build this online community so that we, in essence, can serve our sites better and for you to be able to connect more with your peer group around the world. So we want to first thank you for braving this new frontier with us and being the first sites to try out this new platform. And we're looking forward to getting your feedback on how we can make it better before we launch it to the rest of the world. But before I get started, let me pray. Lord, we thank you so much for this day that you have given us. We thank you for your love, your everlasting love. We thank you so much for the opportunity that we get to come and gather together and learn more about technology and how it can be used for the glory of your name. I pray, Lord, that this time that we have together will be fruitful and edifying, and that it will spark something in us and propel us to a new place in you. We love you, Lord, and we thank you. Holy Spirit, please be with us today. It's in Jesus' name I pray. Amen. Well, during our time today, we will be focusing on a series of lessons. First, we'll talk about what is the network. What does that mean when we say you have joined the network? We'll talk about what does it mean to be a network member. So we'll lay out what commitment you are signing up for when you join to be a member. We're going to go through how to log on and register your site. We're going to go over how to invite your team members to join all of the fun on the online platform. We're going to talk about how to access curriculum and resources that you need to host your classes. We're going to talk about actually using this as a tool to manage your class. And then we're going to talk about how you can track your impact and success and pull reports, and how you are able to connect with other JFL leaders around the world using the online platform. And then we'll wrap it up talking about how to access additional support that you may need to get familiar with the system, and we'll give you a little sneak peek of what's next to come. If you have any questions, I ask that you use your control panel to ask your questions. Mia Walker will be helping to field questions, and I'm going to take a couple of short breaks during our time together to answer any questions out loud. And whatever we're unable to answer during our time period today, we will make sure to answer them after the webinar, either via the forums that are on the online community or via email. I just want to remind you that we are recording this session, so just make sure that you are muted at all times. We're recording it because we want to make this available for you as a resource and make it available for all those who were unable to attend, who were invited to this session today. Well, before we get started, I want to launch the first poll. The poll question is, do you need this webinar to end on time so you can watch the Soccer World Cup? Launch the webinar. Launch the poll.
Okay, wait. Now where is that?
Okay, so it's down there. Move that over. Okay.
Polls.
So then click it again, and then see that drop down. And then do poll question 1.
So as soon as you start seeing that, go to polls.
Yeah, start going to polls. So I'm only going to allot no more than a minute or so for polls.
There. Everybody help if I hit launch poll.
Those are just dummy polls
Launch
right now.
poll. Okay.
So
And
I
we're
would
doing
say, yeah,
Okay.
3, maybe 4, but I think we're gonna run out of time.
Okay.
But when you're launching a poll, you don't have to it'll tell you how many people are have responded. You don't have to wait until 100%.
Okay.
So you could just and I don't think I will. Oh, there it is. Okay, I will know.
Get rid of this so I can see questions. Do I have to hit? This is poll in progress for
Okay, so
attendees.
then you go back over here, and then you click close poll. You're done.
So since I launch it, I can click close, or I have to wait for all of them to complete it?
No, you don't have to wait for all of them to complete it. That's what I'm saying. Not everybody is going to complete it. So you can kind of see when it's slowing down. Like it'll say 20, 30, 50% people. And then it'll like slow. And it'll like 71.
Okay.
And then once we get to like 70, you can close the poll.
That's what I need to find out. Okay.
Yeah. And then you click share results.
Okay. Share results. Gotcha.
And then results.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'm going to say, what am I going to say? It looks like I need to be prompt today. So I will promise to be on time today. So now that we have our priorities all laid out, let us get started. So the online community network, when we talk about it, we mean that it is an online communication platform for JFL leaders and volunteers to facilitate their own JFL ministry and connect with other leaders around the globe. When we say that you are a network member, what we're saying is that you have embraced the Jobs for Life mission, vision, values, and statement of faith. You are actively participating in JFL activities, meaning that you are holding at least one JFL class per year, or you are engaged in other ways like attending events, helping to train other leaders, or serving on advisory boards, taking coaching calls, etc. You are actively participating on the online community, so you're using this tool to manage your classes and report on your progress and success. And you are building a strong and meaningful relationships with your students, and you're creating a stable system for mentorship for your student population. And then you are engaging with the business community. And you're engaging in the business community in such a way where you're taking steps to incorporate business leaders into your classrooms, and you're building relationships with businesses that could potentially hire JFL students. And then you're eager to share your experiences and best practices to the broader network membership. You have so much to give by way of your experiences in the field, and many of our site leaders and volunteers will be able to benefit from that. Some of the major features of our network is that it is really a tool to help you manage your class better. It's a way for you to archive your class and student and volunteer information for later retrieval. You can track all of your process so that you can be able to report to interested parties about your success. When you share your stories through the online community, you get access to a wider audience because of the wide reach that our website has. You have access to resources and best practices. And then, of course, the gem of the online community is being able to really connect with other site leaders and volunteers around the globe. So now let us get started and log on. So when you are registering your site for the very first time, you are going to come to this URL, which is jobsforlife.org/account/register. The reason why we have this, we would have a link on the website under the Getting Started page, a button. But because we haven't opened it up to the rest of the public yet, you will have to go to this URL link, jobsforlife.org/account/register. So when you come to the screen for the very first time, you have a drop-down menu here that lists all of the sites that are already in the system. You will check to see if your site is located here. If not, no worries. Just click My Location is Not in This List. And so when you click this button, you will be able to fill out and register your Jobs for Life site. So I'm going to be Oakwood Test Church. I'm going to be located at 123 Main Street in Raleigh, North Carolina. If your Jobs for Life class is located at a different location from the address that you are mentioning up top, you're going to click here to JFL class address, and that will bring up another field down below where you can type in the exact address of where you're going to have your class. And the reason for this is that we will be advertising your class on our locations page, and so we want to make sure that we have the right location to where your students will go. In this box here, you'll write out maybe your mission statement or a description about your organization, your website. I'm going to say I'm at Oakwood. You're going to upload your logo here. So you click on Select an Image, and you can upload an image from your files. It'll take a little moment for it to upload. So remember that your logo will also be shown on our locations page as well. So it's a great way for you to get a bit of advertisement of your ministry or site. So when your image loads, you have the opportunity to crop it in a way of how you want it to be displayed on your site. So I'm going to move that and drag that over and click Save Image. Then I'm going to select what type of site I am. I'm a church. And then we're going to ask you for a few kind of demographic information. So when did you first hold your Jobs for Life class, if it's applicable? I'm going to say I hosted mine at the first of the year in 2013, and I held 2 classes. I think my next class is going to come up in July. If you're a part of a church or an organization with membership, we just want to get a sense for how large your congregation or membership is. So here I'm going to select my church is between 0 and 100 folks. On my staff, so this is staff at your organization, total staff at your church. I'm going to say 0 to 5. And then I'm going to select who I'm affiliated with. If you select National Parent Organization, so if you're a nonprofit and you're a part of an organization, you can select, for example, like Prison Fellowship, who have multiple affiliates around the world. You can select that. Or if you select other, if it's not located here, you can type it in the other field here. But since I'm a church, I'm going to select that I'm a part of a denomination, and I'm going to say I'm Presbyterian. And then we want to know what type of other ministries you're a part of, and I'm going to say we're a part of the clothing and food ministry. Here is the local contact information for your site. So this is typically the site leader that is connected, who is in charge of running the site. So I'm going to say my name here, Latoya King. and my email address. I'm going to put my phone number here, and I'm going to say how I heard about Jobs for Life. And remember, when I click the button up top, that my ministry was, or my JFL class was located at a different location. So it's located at the Community Center, 2020 Lovelace Lane in North Carolina. And then I'm going to click Submit. Once you submit your form, your location, you're going to come to the submission page that basically thanks you for becoming a member of the JFL network. And then we are basically saying that Jobs for Life will be notified of your request, and we will review it and click validate for you to show up on our location page. But that validation does not stop you from going forward and continuing on to navigate through the site. So you click next step to go on to complete your user profile form. And your user profile form is basically your about you as a user. So now that I have selected and inputted my church name is in the drop-down menu. And then I'm just going to put my name here. Okay, my email address at LFakeMeOut. I'm going to set my password. And I'm going to confirm my passcode. Now my phone number, so this is my contact information, my profession. I'm going to be the site leader. And down here, we have our JFL site commitment where you can click and review what we talked about earlier about what it means to be committed to being a JFL member. And then you can also click on these links to find out what our mission, vision, and values and statement of faith are. And then this is just terms and conditions of what it means to use our site. So make sure you click these two buttons. You cannot proceed to the next phase until you do. So I'm going to click register. I'm done with registering the basic information for my user profile. Then you get a message from us saying, welcome to the Jobs for Life family. But before you're able to proceed, you'll have to go to your email because we want to confirm that your email is correct. So you'll get an email from us welcoming you to the Jobs for Life family. And then down towards the bottom, we'll have your name, your email address, and then a link that says confirm email address. At this point, I'd like you to click on confirm email address. And then that will take you to a page where you would be able to log on directly to the site. So you're going to say your email has been confirmed, and now you can click on this link and sign in to my account here. And I'm going to click here. So now this brings you to the regular login page of the website. So make sure that when you return to log in after you've logged out, you come to jobsforlife.org/account/login. So I'm going to log in. And this should bring me to our our main page called the overview page. So this is where all the action is, where you can get to every part of the online platform from this page. And just to highlight a couple of sections for you, I want you to notice that right underneath, right smack dab in the middle of your page, you have your classes that are currently in progress. So it's easy for you to get to it as you are managing your class. Any older classes or classes that are in the future, you just click on the classes up here in the top menu part, and you would be able to see any past classes that you've had and any future ones that you would hold. But the ones that are in progress would show up right on the overview page for your convenience. I also want to bring attention to this major tab section down at the bottom here. These are tabs that we expect that you would use frequently. So you have access here to latest news and upcoming events. You can access your curriculum and resources that you need in order for you to conduct your class. You can share your stories and participate in forums and look at your report daily to see how well your class is progressing. Also, I want to show you up here, this menu up here. Whatever is down here in the tab section is also up here in the menu, except for members and classes. And we'll go over members and classes. Also, I want to let you see your membership profile link is here. So you can go here when you get a chance. There are some additional fields that we did not make available when you first signed on, just for the sake of time. So you can go back in your leisure and type in that information about yourself. So you can go in and type in when your birthday is, what your gender, and some other statistical data about yourself. You can upload your picture so that people can see who you are, a little bio about who you are, and then other ways to connect with you on social media. I just want to make a note that you want to make sure that you insert the entire link to your social media page so that you can so people can connect with you. And then you click save, and that will save to your user profile page. And then if you needed to update your location, you can click here on this link on update to update your location. And then the other two major parts is we want you to have easy access to purchasing the curriculum that you need and sharing stories. Just wanted to show you that. All right. Let's see here. All right, now after you have logged on and you are at the overview page, now it's time for you to invite your team to join the online community platform so that they can get connected as well. And so the way that you would go about doing that is coming up here to this this link here called invite. You're going to click invite here. You're going to type in their email address, and then you're going to determine what type of user they are. So there are two major types of user. There's a super user and a regular user. And each of those identifications determines the rights that a user has. So a super user is an administrator user, meaning that they have all access to the site. They can view everything, and they can change, add, and delete anything. So they can add classes, they can view surveys, they can see student information. Regular users, on the other hand, have a limited view. They have limited rights. Regular users can view class information, but they cannot view student confidential information or student surveys. They have access to events and news and curriculum, so they can download curriculum and resources as much as they like. They can participate in forums, they can share stories, but they cannot administer surveys, they cannot add any students or change any information to the site. So you determine what type of user they're going to be. They're going to add their name, first and last name, what role they will play in the class. You can add a personal message to them and click send. they would receive an email letting them know that they've been invited to join the JFL Online Community Network, and they will be given a link to their user profile page so they can complete it and log on. Okay. Then you can, from the tab section, access your curriculum and resources that you need to conduct your class. So from the tab section, you can click on Curriculum and Tools. It shows the first three documents here. In order to view them all, you click View All. And these are all the electronic versions of our instructor guides and student workbooks. And so you can download the PDF copies here. If you want to purchase the curriculum, you can click here to purchase. Another window will open directly to the store, and you would proceed to purchase hard copies the way that you've been purchasing them in the past. To access all of the supplementary and resource guides that you need, you can click here in Resource Library. Again, similar to Curriculum and Tools, the first three are labeled here. You can click View All to see all of the resources in the library. If you want to view them by category, you can click on the different categories that are available. So in this case, I want to see Champion Tools and Training, and I'm going to click there. And then it will show me all of the resources that pertain to Champion Tools and Training. I can also access the curriculum and tools from the resources page. So curriculum tools are there. And as I mentioned, you can click on any category that pertains to what you're looking for. Okay. All right, now I have another question for you all. Have you logged on and registered your site? So while you're answering this question, I will answer any questions that, I'll answer a couple of questions during our time. I think I can see questions.
What was poll? Oh, that was the question, right? Have you logged on? That's the quick poll.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought I was going to see the question. I was like, just select one or two. Okay.
I know. I didn't put it all in there.
It
was just quick. Yeah, but the question will be there.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question will be there.
They've all been yes.
And then we answer a question. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Where did you say it says show poll results?
You got to close the poll first.
Got it.
Share.
Yes, okay, it was great. Everybody, okay.
Great, great, great. All right. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty and start to add your classes so you can learn how to manage your classes. So from the overview page.
Sorry, anytime I have the poll comes up, it hides my questions.
Yeah,
so
now you got to work too.
Yeah, I got to close it out and open back up. So yeah, no, never mind. I'm good.
Okay, good. To begin to manage your upcoming JFL class, you must add it to your account. So from the overview page, you're going to click on Add a Class. This is really slow. You're going to give your class a unique name. So I'm going to say that this is class number 3. I'm going to turn that off. This is class number 3. You're going to select the type of class that you're having. Either it's a Jobs for Life class for adults or Powered for Life for young adults. I'm going to click that. The primary contact name. for this site is going to be myself, but it can be anyone you want that is in charge of that particular class. I'm going to include my email address. I'm going to start in 7-1 because that's when I told you all that I was going to start my class. And then I'm going to end September 14th. Now the number of sessions, it will default to the standard 16 sessions that we recommend that you all have to deliver your class. But we do understand that there are some of you that have tweaked your classes in order for you to best serve your population or your students. Some of you have more class sessions where you want to supplement some additional lessons. Some of you have combined some of your classes and shortened it. So this is the place where you would put in the number of classes that you would have. But I'm going to keep it at the 16. And I'm going to say that I want my classes are going to be held on Tuesday and Thursday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. My graduation date is going to be the day after we finish. And we're going to meet for our ceremony time at 7 p.m. So you have a question that asks, are you conducting this class in partnership with another church or nonprofit? There are many churches and organizations that will partner with one another. We're a church. I'm going to say we're going to partner with the nonprofit, and it's the community center where we're having our class. If there's a number of staff members that are being paid for hosting the Jobs for Life class, like that is part of their job description and they get a salary for it, you'll enter in the number of people. And I'm going to say there are 2. I'm going to upload a class photo. And this class photo will also be shown on our locations page. And after we finish saving this class and managing our tasks, I will show you where on the locations page how your ministry will show up and be advertised. So I'm going to crop it, go on and save. Any additional notes about this class, you can type them here in additional notes section, and you're going to say save. Now once you save your class, you will be taken immediately to another page called Managing Your Class Sessions. So like I mentioned before, we want to give you flexibility to be able to choose when you have certain classes. So I'm going to click Assign Tasks to Sessions, and up will come the class tasks or homework that is assigned to each JFL student. Will come up in the JFL task list here. If you want to customize tasks, you can enter that there. The JFL task, I'm going to put that in my 16 sessions. I want to just show you. You entered in 16 sessions. So then I'm going to drop and drag my task that's associated with a particular class session. And you drop and drag, and it's pretty easy and pretty fast. If I want to customize, I will click Add Task, and click Save Custom Task. and then I can drop and drag. If I say, oh no, we don't need 16 sessions, or I want to add another session, you can click add another session there, and another session will appear. Or you can click delete, and it will go away. You can also delete tasks that you have associated with different sessions. So once you have dragged and dropped all of your tasks that corresponds with each of the sessions, I'm going to click Save Sessions. And this will bring us to the class detail page. Okay. Okay. So to get to your classes from the overview page, I just want to show you. Now I have 2 classes that are going on or getting ready to go on. That's immediately coming up. I'm going to click on my class 1 here. And now that I've added my class, I want to go ahead and add my volunteers to this particular class. So there are a couple of ways that you can do that. So after you have invited your leadership team to join, you can click choose a from the volunteer tab. You can choose an existing volunteer, and there should be a volunteer's names that come up for you to select. And you'll click select, you'll select the person, and then you'll add to the class. I'm not do it with them. Another thing you can do is sometimes we have volunteers that will periodically come in the class, like a business panelist or a resource agency panelist, and it's a volunteer that will not actively participate on the network. So what you'll do is just click add a new volunteer. And from here, you'll put their email address, their contact information in here, a little bit of some demographic information. If they're a business panelist or a resource agency, you'll say the name of the business or resource agency, if they're hiring Jobs for Life students, and if there are their services that provide, and click Save. Now that we've added our volunteers, we can add our students to the class. If you have a student that is already in the system and they have not maybe completed and they're going to be in this class, you can click choose a past student and select from a drop-down menu of students that are already in your system. 9 times out of 10, you're going to click add a new student. So I'm going to click add a new student. And the student profile form will come up. And you would fill out the student's information. Their name and email address are required fields, their contact information, their birth date, gender, some other demographic information about their status and their background. You can upload a picture and also make any additional notes about a student. So I want to show you an example of a student that I've already entered into the system. So when you click on a student's name, it comes to their student details page, and you can click View Personal Details. And from here, you can see some major details about the student, their attendance in the class, any homework or notes or post-class follow-up associated with this student. If you needed to update your student's information, you click Update Student Information up top. And here you can change any information that you may have placed in before or hadn't gotten. Please note that this information is all on the applications that you give to students to apply to become a part of your JFL class. So it should be really easy for you to transfer that information from the application directly to this form here. Now, tracking attendance and homework is pretty simple and easy. So I'm going to go back to the student listing page on the class details page. From this page, you can track your attendance for students, your student tasks. And so from this page here, if I click on student attendance, remember the 16 sessions that we inputted in? They're all here. And I'm just checking off whether or not they've come. If they have, if they were tardy, I can click here and then I can type in a reason for why they were tardy. I click Update Attendance. I get a notification that the attendance record has been updated successfully, and I click OK. And then on the summary, student summary page, I just click refresh. And that information is updated here on Daniel's record. To track student tasks, remember the 16 sessions that we put in and the tasks that were associated with those sessions, they all come along here. And then I just tick off whether or not they have completed it. Down the bottom, I update tasks, similar to how I did attendance. I get the notification that homework records have been updated successfully, and I click OK. I go back to my student summary sheet, and I click refresh. And you can see I've updated my completed assignments. So now I have another poll question for you. How many of you have registered your upcoming class? And while you all answer this question, I'll take a few moments to answer any questions that you may have. Yes, you could do that, or no, you can't do that. Yeah, you could do that. No, you can't do that. Okay. I see that some of you have not been able to register your classes yet, but I'm sure it's because you all are taking a break over this summer. Makes a lot of sense. Next, we're going to go into impact and how we, there are multiple ways for the system to track your performance. One of the ways is sharing stories. It's a great way to show the world how God has been moving in your JFL class. So this is how you will share a story. So from your Everviews page, you can click Share Story here up top at your easy breezy button up here, or you can share stories down from the Stories tab and click Share Stories. So I'm going to click Share My Story. You see in your Share Your Story form, your name, email, and phone number automatically populates, as well as your location. And then you type in the title of your story, and then you write a little synopsis of the story of how great your student is and all the wonderful hard work that they've accomplished and how God moved mightily. And yes, Jobs for Life works. You're going to click Submit Your Story. Jobs for Life customer support will receive a notification that you have completed that you are requesting to share your story. And all stories will be published on our website under stories. So we just like to look at it first, review it, just make sure there are no grammatical errors or anything. And then we would click validate and it will show up on our Jobs for Life site. So that is sharing stories. All right, post-class follow-up. We are very interested to know our students and how well they have been doing as a result of going through the class. And there's some tools that we've made available for you and champions to be able to follow up with students. And so in post follow-up, it's a good way for you to let us know how a student has been doing. So I'm going to click on post-class follow-up link on the student detail page for a particular student that I'm interested in. These are all of the requirements for a student to graduate. And so you can see that the student has completed, he's a graduate. But you can say whether or not they dropped out or they are non-graduate. Did they complete their resume? Yes or no. And you can say any notes that you have about that. Are they deemed work ready? Yes or no. Did they receive employment during the class, right after the class, 6 months after the class, or 12 months after the class? Or are they pursuing education? So you can say whether or not they're pursuing education immediately following the class, 6 months, or 12 months after. And then have they completed their 60-second commercial? And if they've become a volunteer subsequent to graduating from the Jobs for Life class. Some great information to know. You would be able to see this information underneath the student's detail page on the post-class follow-up tab. Pretty easy for you to see how well they've been doing. Another way for you to track your success is by viewing the report that we've created. So we have a report tab here. You click report. And these are just some key statistical data about the success of your class overall for class number 1. So you can see you have class number 1, you have 2 volunteers, 3 students, so the volunteer to student ratio is 67%. What percentage of your class was pursuing continuing education prior or after? Same with employment, what percentage of your class? And then what percentage of your class graduated? And what percentage of your class reported positive outcomes? These statistics are being generated from the information that you're placing into the student and volunteer profile pages. And it's also pulling from the surveys, the pre and post-class surveys that you would administer to your students. So speaking of surveys, I will show you pretty quickly how to administer a survey for your class. So all students are required to do both a pre-class and a post-class survey. Pretty easy way of administering it. There are a couple of ways. If your student has an email address that you can send them a link to, you can send them this link, jobsforlife.org/student-survey. And from this, they can click on which site they are a part of. So they're part of Oakwood Test Church. Is it? Okay, this is an issue. It's Oakwood.
Oak Mountain? Did you do it?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Okay, there should be a class. Oh, don't play. Please don't play. You're working fine. So, oh, I'm in the Jobs for Life test site. I thought it was Oakwood. Oh, that's because I know what happened. Thank you. My bad. So we're using the Jobs for Life test site. There we go. And I'm going to type in Daniel's email address, and I'm going to say this is for class number 1. And I'm going to select a pre-class survey. And then I'm going to continue on to the survey. So remember that I need to do that.
I added it. It's the test for the survey.
And then the survey comes up. The student takes the survey. Another way, if your student doesn't have an email address to attach it to, you can click on pre-class survey here to the right. And that student would have a unique survey URL that they could fill out. So then they just click on take this survey now, and it goes directly to the survey. Only super users and admin site leaders can view survey results. So in order for you to view Daniel's survey results, you'll click pre-class results. You see that he's taken the survey during this date and time. And so we're going to click that. And you'll be able to see his survey results here. I just want to stress how important measuring our success is. We want to prove that the local church has a solution to the joblessness problem. And for us to be able to do that is for us to really gather our resources together and talk about what's really going on in our Jobs for Life class. And the surveys that we're administering are measuring not only whether or not students have graduated or gotten employment, but it's really measuring kind of social, economic, and spiritual progression from when a student enters in a Jobs for Life class or a Powered for Life class and when they exit. So just wanted to stress the importance of that. Post-class volunteer surveys. Depending on the type of user you are and what role you play in the class, your survey will be featured in the class section here. So because I'm a site leader, I have a site leader survey here, and I can click here and go to my site leader survey and take this survey. Okay. All right, I want to go over really quickly how to connect with other members in the network. There are a couple of ways that you could do this. You can click on members here at the top right-hand corner. It will automatically show you all of the members that are a part of your particular account. So you can click on it, any person, and see a little synopsis of them. I just want to note that we're going to build this out just a little bit more so you can know more about who I am and what I'm interested in. No personal information, however, but just want to show so people can connect with you a little better. You can see my social media contacts here, and you can send me or anyone in your member an email. I don't get your email address, but I can get your email. If I want to view all the other members of the Jobs for Life network, I'm going to click here. And these are all the members. I just want to also note that we're still working on this section. We're going to have some search functionality that goes along with this section as well. But I just want to show you, this is someone that has logged on. And you can get to, this is Pamela Bolden, course instructor in Decatur, Alabama. Looks like she is with the Neighborhood Christian Center. Great. Another way that you can connect with other leaders and ask questions and talk about particular subjects that pertain to your class are in the forums. So here you can click on forums from the upper menu or from the tab on the overview page. You can see that our forums are organized by areas or interests that might, or topics that may interest you. You can either add a new topic here to this particular forum and click submit, or you can participate in a forum that's already going on. So I'm going to participate in resource agencies. Looks like there's a question about the North Carolina Triangle area. What resource agencies do you engage for your Jobs for Life class? It looks like we've had some participation from folks in the area giving their experience and a question about who they contact with at their particular agency. And there has been an answer to that question. You can go down here, type in a question or comment, and click submit reply, and it will show up in the feed. You can also click on this person here. I'm going to click on Jill S. because I like what she has to say, and maybe I want to get in contact with her and email her directly, and I'm going to click on her name. So that is how you can connect using the online community network. So now before we close out, I wanted to give you all a few minutes to ask questions. So we'll probably take we're probably going to run out of time. Yeah. And
It's okay, remember.
yeah, well, I don't want to run over too much. We just cut it and we'll just answer questions later.
Okay.
All right. So just wanted to let you know about how you can get additional support. As you can see on your overview page, at the very top, you have need help, get support now. So if you click on that, it will take you to our user manual, and that's where you can get step by step how to accomplish a particular task. And then, of course, you can always email us at support@jobsforlife.org, or you can email Mia and myself personally if you have any questions. Just want to let you know what's next. We definitely want to get your feedback on the network so that we can fine-tune it and make it better. It's always a work in progress. We feel like it's always a way for it to get better, and so we want it to be a tool that will be useful and can enhance your ministry and not hinder it. And so we are definitely open to your comments. We are looking to launch this to the rest of the world July 31st, so there's going to be a lot of fanfare around that. And then hopefully in the month of August, we'll possibly have another webinar training. So I want to thank you all for joining us. And I hope I didn't go over too much. But I really thank you for joining us, and please be on the lookout for the recorded session if you would like to see it again. Thank you and have a great day. And go USA!